Applications Committee. Do we have any apologies for absence?
We do, Chair. I have apologies from Councillors Cunningham and Ireland.
Have we any declarations of interest? No. Okay. We have two applications to consider today. The first one is reference number 2024/0118/TP. It's 34 Strathview Park, Netherley, G44 3EN, and is a single storey front, side and rear extension including boundary wall and elevated decking. Pass you on to Mr Scott to inform us some further, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, application 2024-0118 TP for the erection of a single storey front, side and rear extension at 34 Strathview Park in Netherley. There are 12 objections to this application and 2 comments in support, and those are summarised on page 6 of your papers. And they relate to visual impact and size and scale. This is the objections, private legal matters, neighbour notification, safety of gas pipes and impact on view. And in support, they relate to the welcome removal of a hedge and that it enhances the property and has little impact on neighbours. This is a local application under the hierarchy of development regs, and it's before you because more than 10 objections have been received. The application sites an end terrace 2-storey property and lies to the north side of Strathview Park. Planning permission is sought, I put drawings on the screen there, planning permission is sought for the erection of a single storey front, side and rear extension. The front and side extensions comprise a flat roof and the rear extension comprises a monopitch roof, and the external materials are proposed to match those in the existing house. In section 7, on page 7 of the papers, is an assessment of the proposal against the relevant policies in the NPF4 and LDP2. Those policies require that all development should not result in a significant loss of character or amenity to the surrounding area, and that extensions to houses should complement the character and design of the existing building. Following assessment, the proposal is deemed to be compliant with those policies, as set out on page 8. And page 8 also provides a comment on the points of objection that were not addressed under the policy assessment. And on page 9 is a recommendation that the application is approved, subject to the standard time condition to comply with section 58 of the 1997 Act. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr Scott. I'll now open this up to the committee for any comments or questions.
I'll begin. Thank you, Chair. The thing that struck me in looking through this, I don't know how colleagues are minded, but I was thinking a site visit might help determine some of the factors that the residents objecting have raised, which seem to be around visual continuity and spoiling the view. So I think that's something that we kind of brought further to life with a site visit. You know, it's quite an unusual number of representations for a small development like this, and I think that would give it due consideration. But as I say, I'll go with what my colleagues think on that. Thank you.
Would any other colleagues like to go on a site visit, or are they happy to make a determination just now? Councillor Edlin?
I'd be happy to second Councillor Morrison's proposal.
Thank you, Councillor Edlin. Any other? No. So we'd be happy to go for a site visit then. You propose it, and Councillor Morrison and Councillor Edlin second.
Yeah, I formally move that there be a site visit for this application. Thank you.
Okay then, Mr Buck, go for a site visit at some further point.
Yeah, we'll make arrangements for that, and that will require the item to be considered at a future meeting.
Thank you, Mr Buck. Okay, we can move on to the next one now, which is reference number 2024/0295/TP, which is 53 Burnfield Road, Giffnock, and demolition of existing commercial buildings and erection of dwelling house, erection of boundary wall with fence above and gate to front. Pass on to Mr Scott.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, application 2024-0295, demolition of existing commercial building and erection of a dwelling house, boundary wall with fence above and a gate to the front. Consultations received. East Renfrew Council Road Service refused on the grounds of public road safety. East Renfrew Council Environmental Health, no objections with the conditions, and Scottish Water, no objections, but they must apply to them for connection to their infrastructure. And the site history, the dwelling house was approved in the site in outline with conditions on the 20th of June 2005. Now that was just an outline, so that's just the principle, and there was no details with that application. This application attracted 12 objections, and again they're summarised on page 13 of the papers, and they relate to overlooking, overshadowing, out of character, overdevelopment, visual impact, increase in noise, and issues with neighbour notification. A design and access statement has been submitted, and that provides gives a site description and its context, and provides a description of the proposed development. This is a local application under the Hierarchy of Development Regulations, but it's before you because more than 10 objections have been received. The application site is a single-storey vacant commercial unit with a basement and lies to the west side of Burnfield Road, 80 metres south of where it crosses the Glasgow to East Kilbride Railway. It's within the urban area as defined in LDP2 and lies approximately 300 metres west of Giffnock Town Centre. Now, at this point, I will say that yesterday the applicant gave us amended drawings that they wanted brought to the committee's attention. When the report of handling was written, we didn't have those drawings. So I'll just provide those to you. They were submitted in response to comments from the road service to provide extra car parking. I'll put those up there for you. So that's the extra car parking to the left of the house there. The road service, just to go into detail, objected to the car parking in tandem to the right of the house, 2 spaces sort of back to back, and they wanted a third space, so the applicant has come back in with these 2 spaces here. Now, we consulted roads this morning, and they have come back and they maintain their objection because those 2 spaces are now too close to the junction with Torburn Avenue. So this doesn't change the recommendation, and it doesn't change roads' comments to us. So just to continue, page 14 of the papers, plan permission is sought for the demolition of the existing unit and for the erection of a dwelling on the site. The dwelling is proposed to be 2 storeys high with a basement and a single. Yeah, 2 storeys high with a basement, and at the time of writing, the report of handling 2 tandem parking spaces were proposed, which resulted in the objection from the road service. On page 15 and 16 of the papers contains an assessment of the proposal against the relevant policies in NPF4 and in LDP2. The proposal raises no conflict with policies 1, 2 or 15 of NPF4 given its urban location, and no conflict with policies 3, 6, 9 or 12 of NPF4 given the nature of the site. So the principle of the dwelling on the site is therefore acceptable. It therefore falls to be assessed whether the design and siting of the proposed house is acceptable at this location. The proposal's proximity to the footpath would result in it being a dominant and incongruous addition to the streetscape. Given its proximity to the rear boundary, it would have a dominant and overbearing impact on the adjacent dwelling on number 1 Torburn Avenue. The adopted SPG Green Networks provides that private rear gardens should be at least 1.5 times the ground floor area of the house, or 100 square metres, whichever is the greater. In this case, the private rear garden area is only 91 square metres, less now given the parking, and the proposal is therefore contrary to policy 14 of NPF4 and policies D1, D2 and D6 of LDP2. The points of objection not addressed under the policy assessment are outlined in page 16 of the papers. And on page 17 is the recommendation the application is refused, with the 3 reasons for refusal as set out in the papers. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Scott. Open up to the committee for some comments now. Anyone get any comments? Councillor, excuse me, Councillor Morrison.
I guess I'll begin again then, Chair. I must admit, in looking at this, I know the road pretty well. There's a lot of HGV movement, Sevenths in the nearby supermarket and car retailer, and I did have concerns about the impact the road safety would have here. That's in the previous proposal where there was 2 parking spaces in series. They obviously have the 3 here in this kind of last minute revision. There's next to no outdoor space, and basically I'd be happy to uphold the Planning Department's recommendations for refusal and the 3 reasons why. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Morrison. Councillor Provost Montague.
I would second that proposal, Chair.
If there's no further comments, I'm quite happy to go with the recommendations of the planners for refusal. If there's no further comment. Mr Burke, okay.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So, Councillor Morrison, seconded by Provost Montague, formally moved refusal as per the recommendations in the report, and that's the decision of the committee. Okay.
That concludes today's planning application meeting. Thanks everyone for attendance and have a good day. Thank you very much.